Wright's here, Associate Research Scholar, lecturer in politics, public affairs at Princeton University. Do people remember the free stuff you give them?
Not in the way that we think they do, but it might really make them angry. I mean, truthfully, Leland, if I were to assign my public policy students to design a policy that potentially makes the most people mad and reaps the fewest rewards, student loan debt forgiveness would be an excellent example of that. I don't understand this. These are the voters that would have supported Biden anyway, and they make up a sliver of the electorate and don't always turn out to vote.
All right, so in other words, you're saying that the young progressives, especially African Americans, would be Biden voters anyway. This isn't going to motivate them to the polls, but you said this would turn an enormous number of people against him. Why?
Yes, because the majority of Americans do not have a college degree. We always forget this. And so that includes the majority of Black voters. That includes the majority of young voters. You know, Biden, when we talk about turnout rates and young voters in particular, they dropped precipitously from 2018 to 2022. Why? Well, for young voters, Trump wasn't there as an energizing factor. And so it's probably less likely that they're going to get out to the polls to say, thank you so much. They might have done that anyway because they're angry with Trump and they want to express their vote in that way.
All right. So the argument, I guess, here would be that with Donald Trump on the ballot to energize those voters, this is a nice carrot. This was covered on, of all things, The Daily Show. Take a listen.
This idea that President Biden campaigned and made so many promises to Black voters, but did not deliver on those promises.
Like what?
Student loan debt is one issue that comes up quite a bit.
Because I'm looking at the fact that now I got a bill that I got to pay that I barely can make ends meet to pay. So it's like, what did you really do?
So for those of you at home hoping for a humorous report from The Daily Show, that was the daily podcast on the New York Times, which is slightly less humorous in this. Can we link, though, President Biden's unpopularity, that 16% drop among African Americans, to things like student loan forgiveness, or is there something else to equate for that?
Well, no, voters in all groups care a lot about the economy. They're still upset about inflation. They're still upset about crime, and they're still upset about what's going on the border. This is really uncomplicated stuff. And student loan forgiveness, when we poll about it, yeah, the majority of people say, okay, I'm fine with it. When you tell them they have to pay for it, they're not as okay with that anymore. It's just a very tough argument to make why we should redistribute wealth from the working class to elites, which is exactly what this is. It's regressive, it's unfair, and I don't know why Republicans aren't shouting it from the rooftops.
Well, never underestimate Republicans' ability to screw things up. You and I have talked about that.
We've got that. Right.
We've got that a little later in the show. The latest example, that is, pardon me. How much of this, though, and to be fair, you've been on the forefront of this, the realignment of the parties. President Biden, Democrats are becoming the party of elites and of the educated suburban class, and Republicans are working class voters, even if they may be those of color.
That's exactly right. And so the part of this problem that makes people very angry is that college-educated voters will have higher incomes on average than non-college educated voters, and they're in the best position to pay those loans back. Half of outstanding student loans are medical school, law school, and business school. Those people make a lot of money on average. And so Biden does not have a young voter problem. He has a working class swing voter problem, and this is only going to make those folks shy away from him rather than draw them in.
Yeah, especially if Republicans talked about that rather than talked about banning IVF and fertility treatments in Alabama. We'll have that later in the show. Lauren, thank you very much. Yeah, it would be. It's not something Republicans are quite disciplined enough to do. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.